Yo, Daily Fire, episode 29. If it's trash, turn it off. But if it has value, please share it out for me. Of course, it's brought to you by maxeffortmuscle.com. For all your supplement needs, go to maxeffortmuscle.com. Check out this Tri-Blend protein, the world's best tasting protein, over at maxeffortmuscle.com. And you are listening to the Business and Biceps Network. All right, Daily Fire, episode 29. I was a hater. Yeah, I used to be a hater. Yeah, when you hear that, you go, huh? Gee, what? You're so positive. How was you a hater? Well, here's what it comes down to. When you grow up less fortunate from a financial standpoint, or maybe from an athletic standpoint, it's easy to be a critic. It's easy to be a hater, even though I didn't even know what that was back then, because you're aspiring for more, but originally, maybe it comes out in a negative fashion. So when people come at me nowadays, I remember what it was to feel that way. You're upset, but there's also like an arrogant feel to it. There's also like an entitlement feel to it. And I was reading yesterday, I had some hate come at me and it kind of made me reflect on it a little bit. And I was reading my homeboy, Mike Deegan, Coach Mike Deegan. I was reading his book, Let It Rip. And in chapter 2, it talked about this. We can either be critics or we can be performers. Now, performer doesn't have to mean like actually being on stage performing, but performing could just mean in life doing what you want to do, or being unapologetic about the way you operate, or aspiring to be something more. Or you can be a critic. Now, you can be critical of yourself. I understand that. Or you can be critical of others is what I'm talking about. So I used to be critic, like more of a critic, and feel entitled and like always think about this, like this is one side of it. Why does this person get that and I don't get it? Well, I did this or did that. Nobody owes you a motherfucking thing. All you can do is, when we talk about critic or performer, try to go be you. Try to push to do better. Try to live your best life. Try to develop yourself. Try to take risks. Try to keep pushing with the hopes that one day you can live your dream or maybe do something that you love to do. The hopes. It's a risk. It's tough. So don't be critical of others that are trying it. So what I mean is that I used to be this way. I used to think like, man, this trainer is fucking sweet as me. I've been doing this. Well, I didn't know what kind of work he had put in, what his situation was. Same when I was building supplements. Oh, this company ain't as sweet as us, but they're whooping my ass. Well, it's because they had been in the game longer. They had been this, but I never used to take those type of things into consideration. Then one day I woke up and thought to myself, dude, and this is early in my career. It's been a long time since I thought this way. I thought to myself, dude, you're spending all this time worrying about everyone else, comparing yourself to everyone else. The fuck are you doing? You possess greatness inside of you. We all fucking do. So what about spending every ounce of every second that I ever was concerned with anyone else on developing myself? And that's when my kind of Pandora's box opened up, because then I didn't give a fuck about what was going on in anyone else's business. I didn't give a fuck about what any other trainer was doing. I didn't give a fuck what anyone was saying to me. Now, I'm human, so that things get thrown at me, I might feel them for a second. They might motivate me and fire me up, but then they move on out because I understand the psychology behind being that way. So think about this for a second. If you look at something and you instantly go to be a critic, well, it's usually probably something inside you. That person is putting themselves out there. Right now, people could watch this and go, man, fuck that motherfucker. He always over here thinking he knows what he's talking about. Motherfucker, I'm speaking from experience. I'm putting myself out there. I'm leaving for chance for y'all to come in and just belittle the crap out of me on the comments. And I have to be okay with that because I'm putting myself out here saying like, yeah, I used to be a hater too. I remember what it feels like. Guess what? You don't really get nowhere that way because you're really not working on yourself. But what opened up for me is when I started to dig deep. Why do I feel this way? It's because I hadn't lived my full potential or even fucking close to it. And I was upset that someone else was. But instead of being upset and entitled, I said, fuck it, I'm going to go get that. I'm going to work on me as much as it takes to be able to live my best life and continue to push for what I want for me and for my family. Right? That right there is the difference maker. So it's easier to go, man, that motherfucker got a silver spoon, or that motherfucker, he didn't do that, blah, 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 that he's fake. Man, fuck that dude. But it's easy to do that when you're sitting on your couch than it is to dig deep, move some of the cobwebs around, and get to the root of the reason of why that hate is there in the first place. And then uncover it, work on it, push through it, take chances, and put tons of fucking work behind it so you can then be a person that maybe inspires. See, I went from a person who looked at others that had shit better than me, whether it was when I was a kid, whether it was when I was a first in business, and thought to myself, if I quit worrying about these guys and I start focusing on building my craft, self-mastery, my confidence, and all these things, I'll be a person that, yeah, is going to catch some hate, but more so could inspire at a level maybe I can't even conceptualize. And over time, like I didn't fucking wake up and just hit the microphone and the camera and feel comfortable. This took years of work to believe in myself, to not look how other people do it, to do it how I do it. And so what I want to tell you is like, even if you got a little hate in your heart, start to uncover what that's about. So then you can work on yourself and go be truly. So easy to just cast something on someone else that's fucking trying their ass off. It's so easy to be upset about your current situation. But guess what? I fucking hated living in a trailer. I hated that we couldn't pay our bills. I hated that my parents struggled with money. I hated the way that all that shit went down. I hated that struggle. I hated that we didn't have that financial IQ. I fucking hated the whole process. And so I fucking changed it. And instead of being a fucking hater, I changed that shit to being more inspiring to others and work on myself. And I said, I will change that shit for fucking ever. And that's what I did. And that's what I'm still doing. And so what I say is quit being a fucking hater, get your shit together, work on yourself, and go inspire others. Episode 29. If it's trash, turn it off. If it has value, please share it out for me. Brought to you by maxeffortmuscle.com. And you are listening to the Business and Biceps Network. Appreciate y'all. Peace.